With Kamala Harris, they say yes. Like 3 in 10 people say, I feel like I need to know more in order to make a decision. But when you ask that about Donald Trump, only a fraction of voters say that they do. And so people know who he is, and yet he's still competitive. You look at these battleground states, they're still 50-50.
This is it. It's over for Donald Trump. How many times have you heard that for, I don't know, almost the past decade now? Well, that's not stopping liberal characters from still continuing to tell their audiences every single week, now it is truly over for Trump. You would think they learned their lesson, but apparently not. I'm Vince for Resist the Mainstream. If you enjoy our content, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. Why should you subscribe? Because that way we can keep bringing you great content like this. And that said, recently on Bill Maher's show, he finally, after all these years, after Donald Trump has been in politics for almost a decade, Bill Maher finally thinks it is quote unquote so over for Trump. Let's find out why.
I have been called a Trump alarmist for a very long time. They were wrong. I was right. He wasn't going to leave power. Okay. But ever since then, and since the Hollywood Access tape where he said, I'm going to grab him by the pussy, and he survived that, every time he's been done crazy shit and gotten himself in trouble, I said, no, it's not over. I've said that. I've argued with people. Brett Stevens, my good friend, he's on the show next week. He said at one point a few years ago, the Trump thing. I said, no. Tonight I'm saying, I think it's over. I just want to bring up an analogy to one person. Even before we were around, there was a guy named Joe McCarthy in the early 50s, and he had a hold on America. And it blew out in about 2 years, right? 2-3 years. He was the biggest thing, and then it was just, and I feel like eating the dogs, we're at this point. I feel like we're at the Captain Queeg with the strawberries. We're at Denzel at the end of Training Day. I'm King Kong up here. I just think he's going to lose.
Yeah, except the difference is that Joe McCarthy got censured by the Senate in a totally different time in politics, back when that actually mattered, back when the institutions had a degree of credibility. Whereas Trump, all the things he said for the past 9 years, you really think it's this comment about eating the dogs and cats that's just going to be totally over, as if people don't expect that from Trump. But again, there you have it. According to Bill Maher, it is totally over now for Trump, finally. Except, where have I heard that before? Where have I seen that exact same story before?
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
Donald Trump will not become president.
He's not going to be president. Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank. Okay. I guarantee it.
All right.
I think if he becomes the president, he'll make it great, because the States is already great.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red capes.
On that note, Tom,
take it from me. How about that?
Cheers, Tom.
And then, of course, there's Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Time is running out to protect your savings, and that's why we at RTM have teamed up with Goldco. They can help you safeguard and diversify your retirement with gold and silver IRAs, which provide a critical shield against inflation and dollar devaluation. So don't wait. Goldco makes it easy to roll over your 401k or IRA fast, easy, and tax and penalty free. With their expert white glove service, you can take action now, hassle-free, and plus for a limited time, you can get up to $10,000 in free silver when you open an account. So who doesn't want that? So don't wait, folks. Go right now to rtmgold.com before it is too late. Again, that is rtmgold.com. Secure your financial future at rtmgold.com. Now, Bill Maher can try to write it off by saying, yeah, but I was never one of those people. You know, I always gave Trump a chance, but that's why I have credibility now when I'm saying that it's over for Trump, except that still is not really true, is it? Because Bill Maher is actually one of the people that laughed at Donald Trump. Remember this?
Hey, here we are. And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So, a little bit of a sidetrack, I guess, but I think the context here is important because we have heard it's over for Trump for the past 8 to 9 years. Okay, just gonna point that out.
I do not share your confidence in knowing how this is going to go. I mean, I know people don't think that the polls are very accurate. So setting all of that aside, the reality is that people have known Donald Trump and known who he is for a very long time. And when you ask people, do you need to know more about these candidates? With Kamala Harris, they say yes. Like 3 in 10 people say, I feel like I need to know more in order to make a decision. But when you ask that about Donald Trump, only a fraction of voters say that they do. And so people know who he is, and yet he's still competitive. You look at these battleground states, they're still 50-50.
And that's why I say it's kind of silly to think that the eating cats and dogs thing is going to be the moment where it officially ends for Trump. It's like, again, as she brought up right there, people already know Trump. They know that's his style. They know that's his thing. Were they particularly shocked when he said that? I don't exactly think so. But you even look at what happened this year. I mean, Donald Trump was convicted of a felony. And that's not what ended it for him. But suddenly now, because he said this thing in a debate, which I honestly think a lot of people in the Midwest are asking questions about. I don't know if their reaction is necessarily the way Bill Maher thinks it was. But anyways, regardless, I just don't really understand the logic that suddenly now this is the point where it ends for Trump.
He's hanging in there.
It'll be tied on election day, as always it will. The polls will be tied, and then he'll lose. That's my prediction. We'll see. I'm just saying things aren't until they are. Yeah.
Thank God.
Don't you feel better, Al?
So look, ultimately, it's going to be a close election, and if he thinks his candidate is going to win, fair enough. I just don't understand why the logic there is not something like polls or turnout or this or that or combined. No. It's the one thing he said in the debate. Suddenly that, which, by the way, people are not really going to remember 2 weeks from now, that's what's finally going to end Trump's political career. Again, folks, it just does not make a whole lot of sense to me. But I say, let them feel that way, right? Because if they think the election is over and okay, pack it up, we got this. I think if you approach it that way, they might be in a little bit of a rude awakening on election day. Just saying, it's honestly a good thing if the other side is complacent or borderline arrogant, because while the Trump campaign is out chasing votes, doing everything to win, if the Kamala campaign says they don't need to do anything else, then okay, then there you go, right? Never mind the fact that it's actually Kamala that's demanding another debate because they do not believe that they did enough to beat Trump in the first debate. No, okay, Bill Maher says it's over. All right, must be over. Where have we heard that before? I know exactly where. That said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. And until next time, I've been Vince for Resist the Mainstream. Peace.